All right, round two. Because the first one didn't record, didn't have my microphone on correctly. So, hello, my name is Jared Rivers, and I am here presenting on the behalf to AMC to hopefully expand into the India market overseas. To preface, I am a big movie buff. I love movies. I pretty much see one or upwards of three during the week. I live right next to a movie theater, walk over there all the time, see a lot, consume a lot of movies, and just enjoy it. And so the analytics behind the process of movies and things like that has always been fascinating to me. And to create somewhat of a report on saying, hey, y'all should expand to a different country was pretty great. So looking at the population of India, moving into Mumbai and Delhi are going to be highest of priorities. They have the highest population density in India, and with more people are going to go see movies. It's pretty simple. And so that's my suggestion there. And there is somewhat of a hesitancy behind this, but I do attribute that to 2020 just being the bonkers year that it was and everything like that. We do see although population is rising, the growth rate is rising, we do see it slow down a little bit from 2020 to 2021. I still think people are recovering and will be recovering from COVID and just the weird year that 2020 was. But we are seeing growth back in box office for movies. People are going to see movies again. Shang-Chi did incredible. Surprise, surprise, it's a Disney property, but still, people are going back. And we're going to look over here. Speaking of movies making money, this is a very kind of odd graph to be looking at, saying, hey, we should go over here because movies make money. This graph tells a different story. But what the story behind the story is that India produces an obnoxious amount of Indian movies. And they don't really make circulation outside of that country. The movies from in the far right, the 16 millions, are the ones that we produce. It is the Aladdins, the Avengers, the big box office pushes and just bigger movies. They do find a footing over there. They don't make it over there all too often, but when they do find a footing. So with that being said, Disney does know how to go after this market. The Eternals is not reviewing very well, but it's probably going to do well internationally because of the cast and how they've done everything. We kind of saw that with Aladdin. Endgame, that was more of a 10-year big push. People who hopefully have followed the saga for 10 years went to go see that. I mean, it's the highest, I think. Yes, Endgame is the highest grossing of the just movie of all time at the moment. I don't think that's going to be unseated for quite some time, but still, it's up there. And so back to the other side of the graph, the smaller numbers, but a lot of them. If AMC can kind of help distribute those and capture that a little bit more, I feel like we would push it a little bit more to the right. We would be encroaching over the $1 million range with those smaller budget movies, because if they're going to have a wider audience to go and see it, people are going to want to see those movies. I feel like it's a smart decision. Like I said, Aladdin did great over there. Great cast. Everyone really liked it. I didn't. I think it's just, these movies, I could go on a rant about how these aren't really making a big cultural impact or anything. They're just making a lot of money and then fading from existence. And this is sadly one of those, except it is getting a sequel, so we'll see. And then obviously Endgame, big cultural phenomenon. People are still talking about it. It was a 10-year journey getting to this point, and it did great all over the world. People lost their minds seeing it. But all this to say, Disney knows how to market to India. They're pushing movies multiculturally in the foreign markets, and I think the way that Disney is headed as a company, they're going to start doing that with a lot more movies, and getting ahead of that big wave and starting to expand, especially to places like India, is going to be the smart move in the long run. I hope you have a great day.